Welcome back to the weekly YouTube live and the podcast. Hopefully you having a good afternoon, good night. If you like the rest of us in South Carolina, we definitely got some rain. Um, Definitely thinking about the people in Florida, the coastal part of Georgia, the lower marshlands of the coast of South Carolina. That storm is definitely still brewing. It's going to be a long night for a lot of people in South Carolina. So don't take this storm because we saw a little bit of sunlight this afternoon as a venture to, oh, it's over with. Um, what they are saying is it's going to ratchet up tonight and probably have some pretty good winds. And with all that rain that we got, wind means down trees, and down trees mean without power. So I want all my first responders, police, fire, EMS, DOT, power people, anybody's got to be out there. Remember that y'all stay safe out there, and if you're on the roads, keep safe, keep them safe. They got a family to go home to. So welcome back. This week I was going to have a guest on. It was a rehab for waterfowl. Moved the schedule a couple times to get him on, and I guess it just hasn't worked out yet. So you're stuck with me this week. Good thing or bad thing, I'm not sure. But anybody's watching and want to comment away. I'm watching that. But the first thing we're going to talk about, we're going to pull it up here. I saw it at the beginning of this week. Got my hands on the first copy of it. I still don't understand why it takes so long for the rules and regs to come out online when it's just a PDF, but I guess I'll never understand that one. But let me share my screen here. All right. So if you're listening on a podcast somewhere, I got the 24 25 South Carolina rules and regs on here. Like I said, you should start seeing this magazine probably anywhere you can get your fishing license. That's usually where they're at. I know what they typically like to do is they typically don't like to get the PDF out until all the paper copies of the books put out. And I understand that it's a state agency. Their budget year runs from July to July, and they probably wait to the year to roll around, then order the books. But here we are. We got the PDF. You can get it off of the state's website, or you could go to that e-regulations where I think pretty much every state is. But since we are now officially in August, that means we have, let's look here. Man, we got 1, 2, 3, 7, 14, 21, 22, 23, 24 more days to dove season. I mean, at the beginning of the year, I was just hoping for some rain on my millet that I had out there. Now that I got the rain, boy, woo, I wish I could have used some of that when it was 1,000 degrees outside. But I talked to a bunch of people today, and they got hammered. I talked to Jay Bird, who comes on once a month and usually talks shotguns, shells, and shotguns with me. One of the places they hunt, the dam busted. There's only so much water you could take. I saw where the Samworth down in the coastal plains of South Carolina, the marsh area, they were moving everything to higher grounds. They just got some of them levees rebuilt. I really hope that it doesn't damage them. I mean, with that much water, it's probably going to damage it. But at least hopefully we didn't get all the wind that we typically get from a hurricane. I know it's a tropical storm. I don't know what's upgraded to now. It could be just a tropical depression, but I know, like I said earlier, I know it's going to sit down there and spin and get a little bit more to it before she comes back on the coast. Um, right now, it's got her tracking as I can't look up the features unless I pay for it, so I can't pull that up there. But we'll look at it in a little bit. But the rules and regulations, what we saw posted on DNR's Facebook, ooh, probably 4 weeks ago, showed the dates of the waterfowl season. And with that waterfowl season, that rules and reg page typically has the mourning doves or dove dates on them. And typically we have I'm pretty sure it's the first week. It could be the first 2 weeks. I can't remember. I know it's the first week. You cannot hunt to 12 o'clock. Opening day is 12 o'clock. And when they posted it online, it did not say that, which created a lot of comments that they never came back and cleared up the comments. So I was waiting to get the magazine in my hands. And now that I have it in my hands, there's nothing on here that I've seen, and don't take my word for it if you get caught and the rules ain't right. But what I'm reading, there is no week or 2 week before morning dove. It just says September the 2nd. And when you look down here, it says a half hour before sunrise and sunset. I don't know if this is a typo and they're just going to let it go this year, or is this where we're going in the future? I don't know. If y'all are like me, typically dove season, you go somewhere and you eat lunch, and then you usually don't, even when it starts at 12, the birds are not flying when it's 100 degrees outside. They don't typically even start flying again to like 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So is this going to change y'all's way of hunting on opening day of dove season? If this is what I'm reading, typically down here like this, it says early till season. And then up at top, it'll say early till season. Typically, there's a section that says morning doves, September so-and-so through September so-and-so at 12 o'clock. What's this going to do? Are y'all going to get out in the field earlier that day? Is this just for public land? I didn't see anything about game management or what we have as public dove fields. This is very interesting. Like I said, I just got this book. I ran through it. I didn't see anything. I was looking online. It's very confusing, especially if you dove hunted a long time. The totals are the daily limit still 15 doves. That hasn't changed. But what do y'all think about that? Comment if you watch it, if you listen to this on podcast, or if you're watching it after the live is gone. Comment on it on the YouTube channel. Get a discussion going on it, because I don't recall, out of the 20 plus years of hunting doves, it's always been 12 o'clock on opening weekend that I know of. And, that's 20 years. Heck, I can't even hardly remember what I did yesterday. It's been one of them weeks that you ever just rode home from work with the windows up and the radio off. That's how mentally this week has been, for sure. But I know last week I told y'all that one of the things I was looking forward to was some football season. I don't know if anybody watched the football game. Now it's preseason. They don't they don't have the best players in. It's just getting a little bit of time up under the belts on some players. But I was glad to see football back. And I really don't watch professional football. I really like college football. But I was ready to see something else on TV that wasn't politics. It wasn't this weird whatever that was going on with the Olympics. Um, so I sit down and watch the football game, and a little bit after, you know, into the third quarter, well, it starts raining and lightning, and they postponed the game. Didn't postpone it; they ended the game. It was almost like a NASCAR race when they, whoever's in the lead, we still got 200 laps left, but we're calling it everybody go home. I'm like, man, this is the third quarter. They still had a couple minutes left in the third quarter and another fourth, going into the fourth quarter. That was a lot of football left just to be called it. Now, I understand it could have been late that night, but probably early in the morning before they could get back to it. But man, that was just disappointing. So this week you got the Lions and the Giants and the Panthers and the Patriots. I highly, being from South Carolina, we're very close to the Carolina Panther Stadium. But yeah, we might have a better chance of it snowing tomorrow than the Panthers win tomorrow. I mean, that's the kind of odds that I'm looking at here on the opening game of the Panthers. I know there's going to be some Panther fans that disagree with me, but I really think we got a better chance of snow tomorrow than the Panthers winning. That's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Oh, but it's definitely 2 games tomorrow, then 2 games Friday. No, it looks like 4 games, 3 games Friday, and then one on Saturday. So it is preseason football. Like I said, I cannot wait. I've been waiting for some football, but this right here, this schedule is what I've been waiting for. College football, and some high school football. That is some great entertainment. I love some college football for sure. Um, Looks like August the 24th is going to be kickoff of week 1. Florida and Georgia Tech. That's probably going to be a pretty good game. Let's see. August 29th, Coastal Carolina kicks off. That's a South Carolina team. I don't know where my Shane Cox at. They on here somewhere. Clemson and Georgia. August the 31st. That is going to be a really interesting game. Does Clemson have what they think they got? I'm not a big Clemson fan, so I put it like this. Let's see who can we say? I'm trying to say it nicely and non-politically. Wow. If Clemson was playing, who could we say? Okay, if Clemson was playing anybody, and I'm talking about not even football, you think of something in your head, whatever it is, if Clemson was playing it, I would pull for whatever was in your head. That's how much I am not a Clemson fan. It is straight Gamecocks all the way. This is our year. It may not be football. We always got ladies basketball. We're always rebuilding. Always. But there's going to be some really good games starting off. There's South Carolina, the 31st. That a no-name team that we'll probably lose to. Hey, I didn't say that out loud. Sorry. I hope Carolina's got something this year. It's we need to get the 5 back on Clemson. We always get to that thumb. We get to that thumb, and I don't know. We tend to lose ourselves in South Carolina for some reason. But who's ready for some football? I mean, man, these politicians and all this stuff on the news and wars, and it's if y'all like me, y'all ready to see some college football. For one, that means it's hunting season. That is when college football comes around, that means it's hunting season. We got what I say, 20 something days to dove season. Um, Deer season is going to be kicking off for some of y'all. With saying deer season in this catalog, I said it before, but that was a couple weeks ago. Let's see. I know it's in here. I think for some reason, I think it was at the very beginning. But remember, this year, if you're hunting in South Carolina, you are going to have to use your app to check in deer, or I think there's a telephone number that you can call in too. But that is definitely something different for us here in South Carolina. Wish I could find it. I know it's in here because I saw it. But that is definitely something new this year that you're going to have to do. Kind of like what we do for turkey season. We check our birds in. You're going to have to check your deer in and match the tag color with what you're checking in. So it is definitely in this book. Don't let that slip up on you, because I'm sure that'll be a nice little ticket. But you always can't find something when you're looking for it. And I knew it was a picture of the app. Oh well. It's definitely in this book somewhere where it talks about checking in the deer for this upcoming season as a change. So don't get caught without that for sure. And if it works just like the app for turkey, I mean it's really simple. But I know some of y'all where y'all hunt, let's say Liberty Hill, there ain't no cell phone signal. So I can't remember the rules, but I think you have to check it in that night um, to make it legal, or you could call that number that's on there. So not much going on here. Um, I got some new videos that's going to be coming out for 20 gauge for some of y'all sub gauge 20 gauge lovers. I got some new kick chokes in. I am going to be shooting some steel loads in it, getting ready for waterfowl season. Um, Definitely got some cool chokes from Kicks. So I already recorded some of the videos because before I pattern test it, I got to know how many pellets is in it. So I'm cutting these shells open. So you're going to start seeing those videos probably this weekend. So if you're a sub gauge 20 gauge lover, that's definitely going to be coming out of the Beretta A300. Is a super sweet shotgun. If you're looking for a sub gauge, especially in the 20 gauge, I highly recommend that A300. I know a lot of people really like the A400. But at that time when I ordered the A20, I was wanting the 20 gauge. They didn't have it in the A400 yet. And as soon as I got my A300, they introduced the A400. So that's how it goes. But the A300 does have the kickoff, but it's in the very end of the butt stop. It's probably, I don't know, 3 inches of like rubber. It's kind of like a squish piston type kickoff. And it being 20 gauge already, my kids can shoot it. I mean, they were shooting doves last year with it. There's not a whole lot of recoil. So if you're a 12 gauge guy and your shoulder's hurting and you want to drop down to a sub gauge, I highly recommend shouldering the A300. It's definitely a gas gun. But if you had the money, I would definitely look at the A400 and 20 gauge just because it has a little bit better of a kickoff. But regardless, the A300 A400 are great guns. I see a lot of the A300s on sale. I know. I think was it Palmetto State Armory? I think had one on sale, and I think Academy had them on sale a while back, and people were getting really, really good prices on an A300 20 gauge. I mean, like very impressive pricing. Like, I wish I would have got mine for that, but that's how it sometimes goes. You find them, and they're on sale after you bought something. Let's see. Right now they're going for like $879, 900 on Cabela's website. But like I said, I saw them really cheap. Let's see if I can wonder if I could find some of the prices from Palmetto. They were running a special, and don't look like I can find it off the top of the list here, but they're at $979 again on Palmetto, but they were definitely in the lower range. I know Academy had them on sale 2 weeks ago. If you're looking for a gun for waterfowl and you're looking for a 20 gauge, I highly recommend it. I got some videos from past year on it, shooting before, but that was with the factory chokes. But this season, I got them kick chokes, and I can't wait to do some pattern testing with it. I would go get them and show them to you, but YouTube and Facebook Live doesn't like. They think they're suppressors, and they're not. So sometimes you get questioned on them looking at it, and we ain't trying to make the algorithm mad, but highly recommend the A300. And that's coming from somebody that typically only talks about the 12 gauge. So if that was what I was wanting to shoot, I'm just telling you. But what y'all been up to? There's a good many people watching. There ain't nobody commenting on what they're looking forward to. Any of y'all going dove hunting? Any of y'all's dove fields now look like a flooded pond? I'm gonna pull that up. I was talking about what Deborah was. Let's see what Deborah is now. Let's see what she's categorized. Like I said, tonight is going to be. This is not out of the woods. If y'all definitely in South Carolina and North Carolina, and I saw North Carolina, like Wilmington, not as far as the Outer Banks, but definitely Wilmington area. There's a chance of possible tornadoes. Y'all's risk of being in tornadoes tonight and to tomorrow is definitely something to stay awake to. Keep your phone on. Don't put it on silent, because that you never know what might get spun off. Right now, it's saying it is a tropical storm. That's what it's showing. Let's pull it back up here. Boy, the internet's like blazing fast today, boy. Here we go. All right, so these, not that if you're listening to this, you're going to be able to see it, but these rain bands that's going to be coming in, that is current. So definitely be paying attention. Wilmington looked like it already came through Wilmington, but these back side of the hurricane's definitely coming. It's going to come up maybe through Sumter, Camden, Florence, and then through Pinehurst of North Carolina. So just the tail side of Fayetteville, y'all gonna get some pretty good storms. Greensboro tomorrow, sometime in the middle of the night. I think somewhere in the morning hours, it's going to be towards the North Carolina, South Carolina state line. So, like I said, I just hope everybody stays safe that's got to be out in it. Hopefully none of y'all lose power, especially the people that has to depend on power. Well, let's see, 24-hour future radar. Let's watch this. It's definitely, you can see on this, there's going to be a lot of rain. That is not what Savannah and Charleston needs more of. I mean, that's a lot. All I can say is stay safe, and man, like I said, take these storms seriously. Remember, if a couple of months ago, I had Storm Chaser Adam on, and the way he described warnings and made a lot of sense, and that's the way I want to describe it here. Just remember the way he described it was that you have a watch and a warning. A watch was, your mama's in the kitchen and the kid walks in and he wants a cookie out of the cookie jar, and she's like, I'm watching you. Not that anything's going to happen. The kid just walked in and wanted a cookie, and she says, I'm watching you. But just like the rest of us, we all want to get a little bit closer to that cookie jar, and we're about to get our hand in it. And then what's our parents, our mother always said, I'm warning you, if you touch that cookie, and that's how this storm is. If you see a watch, you need to be prepared. That means I'm watching you. I'm watching to see if there's going to be any tornadoes. But a warning is, hey, if I do something, my hand's going to get popped. So that's the difference. That's an easy way to remember warnings and watches. So your mama telling you, I'm watching you not to take a cookie, and then your mama's telling you, I'm warning you, there's going to be repercussions. So I don't know at this time how much that's going to change over the nighttime. I do like watching weather, and I know right now up in Myrtle Beach, there's a couple of weather people already on lives. They are constantly streaming live where they're following these storms. So if you see some of them around, it's questionable. You might need to be moving to a safe location. But right now, they're up towards Mullins, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach, Wilmington. There is so many. I mean, I can't show you you probably ain't gonna see it from here, but there are so many warnings. Like there's warnings on top of warnings for counties, flash flood warning, tropical storm, tornado watch, like what we just said. It's a watch on that area. So as this storm progresses into the middle of the night, I know it's going to intensify, and I already know that there's going to be tornado watches and warnings. So, like I said there, warning in that county. But just don't cut your phone off tonight. Hey, I know you might turn your notifications off because they ding in the middle of the night because Aunt Jolene down there posted something on Facebook and they wake you up. But tonight is one of them that you need a flashlight and you need to leave your notifications on because with all this rain, I guarantee you power outages is going to be up there. Let's look at that now. Let's pull up Duke power outages. Power outage map. Let's see. I know most of North Carolina's Duke. I know some of y'all closer to South Carolina. Right now, there's 300 and, well, when I zoomed in, it changed the number. 261 in Lumberton, 107 in Wilmington without power. But I guarantee you, as much rain as that's came down, and the stronger that wind gets, the more it's going to do. I got a tree in the backyard today, leaves on it, green as can be. The whole top just broke, slam out of it. It didn't damage anything, it didn't fall on anything. But that goes to tell you that with these winds, it really can do some damage. So if you didn't know it, outagemap.duke-energy.com, you can look up where you at and how many. The more you zoom in, the closer. There's one outage in Hartsville. But you can look at how many people was without power. Let's look at this. I saw it here. Let's look at Florida. Florida got hammered. Clearwater, that storm went through Clearwater and that area of Florida like 2 days ago. 239 people still out of power in Clearwater. 98 people in Orlando. I don't know what powers in Georgia. Where Georgia's got a map. They're definitely not Duke. I wonder if I can search it up. Let's see. GPC, maybe it's the state of Georgia. Let's look at it. It doesn't look too bad. Only 9 people in Savannah. Huh. That's way less than I would have thought. Less than 5. Wow. Either that map ain't right. There's more people per this map. There's more people in Atlanta, Georgia without power than Savannah. That's I don't know. Jay Bird, how did your pond look? I know your other pond looked pretty bad. You said you made it back. The golf cart didn't make it on its own. Did you have to go and tow it with a tractor or something? I wonder what power company is in Charleston. Oh, Charleston. Some of these places might not have a power outage map. I should have known that. Dominion out of Columbia. Showing 4 people in Charleston without power in the Goose Creek area. Man, that is just really hard. I mean, I really can't wrap my brain around that. I really would have thought with this storm and as much rain as they got yesterday, that's mind blowing to me. But wow. Let's see where Myrtle Beach is. Oh, Dirty Myrtle. And you know, most of these places got the power lines underground. So that does help with storms, you know, trees not falling on the power lines like we have. Let's see what old Dirty Myrtle's got. Yeah, 11 people in Loris off of number 9 going towards the beach, North Myrtle Beach part. So, and that's currently where the storm was tracking, just coming through Wilmington. So that kind of makes sense. That don't make a whole lot of sense. That's good to hear, Jay. Jay had us a pond at his house, and he said that he kind of lives on a hill, and he said everywhere he looks, there's puddles of water, and he really thought he was going to lose his pond. Hey, Mark. Yeah, I looked that up, Jay. GPC. There was hardly nobody without power. I just cannot believe the statistics on that map, either for Georgia and Charleston. I would have thought that it definitely would have been more than that. I just maybe the wind ain't as bad as it seems to be, but it definitely was roaring up here pretty good earlier. So Santee Cooper doesn't Santee Cooper power outage. It doesn't show anything down through here without power. So that's good. So maybe everybody's got power. But again, I would not joke around with a storm. Check Jefferson Electric. All right. Is that in Georgia? Let's see here. Well, I was talking. Well, I was typing. I don't know where I was typing at, but I was definitely typing. Let's see. Let's see. Jefferson Energy power outage. There we go. And there's some numbers that I was anticipating. 614, and right outside of, I would have said that was Thompson. They don't have a P, so I guess that's Tom, maybe Harlem. That's just outside of Augusta. 614 people confirmed without power. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that storm went through there early in the morning today, probably all the way up to lunch time. But I definitely do not see this storm being over with. If y'all got any more power companies, throw them in the chat and I'll look them up too. There's just so many power companies through Georgia, South Carolina, and into North Carolina that you have to go to a bunch of websites to check them. Let's see if I can just type in power outages. Wonder if they got a whole map. That was like Georgia Power. Yeah, that's where I was looking at earlier. That just must not be updated right, because what I just looked at, that power company was way more than that one. And you can see, at least this map I like, because you can see where the storm is. Like even here, it's showing Wilmington getting hammered. What I like is, I don't know if y'all use it. Let me move it. Let's see. Let me pull it up here for you. Let me change screens. I'm gonna bring it up. If y'all have never used my radar, that is my favorite radar for phone. If it goes beep beep notification and it says it's going to rain in 5 minutes, it is going to rain in 5 minutes. Yeah. So Moncks Corner, Georgetown, they still got a good bit going on. If you remember, oh man, when was that? At least 6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago. Marion, Lake City, Ainer, Mullins, south of the border, all that whole area got hammered with that hurricane. Um, oh man. Daniel says, man, I hope that cattail Cadillac floats if you get that much rain. We got some flex seal, man. We're gonna throw some flex seal on this thing. I think this boat, and you're not gonna see it from that side of the camera, but you know what a john boat looks like. Let's say a riveted john boat, because this was a riveted john boat. There is more rivets missing in this boat well before I ever cut the front. There's the front over there on the wall, and I was showing y'all. I was trying to show y'all that radar, and it wasn't even. I didn't even have it on the screen. Sorry. All right, so over there on my wall is the front of this john boat. I bought it off of a boy, off Facebook Market. I think it was like $75. He had a trailer and all, and I told him I met him, and it was only like 10 minutes from my house, and I was in the wife's car, and I met him. I said, I tell you what, I buy it, go dump it off in the yard. I don't even want the trailer. He's like, what you gonna do with this thing? I said, I'm gonna cut it up, and I want to use the front for a mount. He was like, okay, well, you know it leaks, don't you? And I'm looking at it, and this boat may have had 200 rivets total from the factory. There probably wasn't but 5 still in it. I mean, there was rivets missing out of everywhere. But what I plan to do with this aluminum boat, and everybody probably back, let's say my generation, you always remember your pawpaw fishing, and you starting out. Well, my pawpaw had an aluminum boat. He gave it to me as a kid, and then once we got into high school, me and my buddy, who I run an ad in on the end of Jonas Finchel hauling service out of Flint Ridge there. I didn't want to cut up that aluminum boat. I could not. I really wanted to use my pawpaw's boat, but I could not cut it up because it is still a great boat, and my son wants it, so I could not cut it up. But so I found this aluminum boat. I cut the front of it off. I mounted it to the wall. My plans are to do some dead mount ducks right on the front, like the picture, like we all take pictures when we duck hunt. We throw the ducks on the top of the front of the boat when it's on the trailer. Everybody takes a photo. That's going to be a dead mount duck mount. But inside it, which you can see, is a green fishing rod, a green life jacket, and a really old fishing rod. Both of them are my pawpaws. So it's just a memory down memory lane. Like, I ain't gonna say maybe a memorial, but it's just a little bit of your past stuff that I remember him wearing that life jacket. I remember him using that fishing rod. And let me grab it, because this thing is old. When I say old, this is, whew, look at that. I mean, even the dust on it's probably 30, 40 years old. But I mean, you can see here where the cork was coming up, and for him to save it, he just wrapped fishing line around it. Probably had tape on it at one time too. But it would never catch another fish. But I just love it. One thing when I come in here to do podcasts, you get to see it. It's just kind of like a memory thing. So that's where the front of this boat is. And some of y'all have been around since I started the podcast and YouTube lives. I was just doing it on the desk. And y'all got to see my beautiful face. And I said, you know what? I ought to use the back of that boat as a desk. So That's where the boat came from. But we're not getting the rain that they're getting down there in Georgia or Myrtle's Inlet and Myrtle Beach, and now definitely Wilmington. Let me pull that up now that I can actually show it on the screen. So this is live. But these areas right here where my mouse is, which if you're listening, you're not gonna see my mouse, but Lake City all the way up to Mullins, South Carolina, Rains, Ainer, South Carolina. All of them are low level, and it's like sand, so it doesn't drain very good. They got hammered, that hurricane. I cannot remember what it was, but I know it had to be 7 years ago. I probably can Google it and find out, but 7 years ago they got hammered. So that's where they're getting rain at tonight. And like I said, it is still tracking out here. You can see the rain bands. It is still even in Florida, just outside of Jacksonville. I mean, it's out in that water. It's going to intensify. It's going to get a lot worse. Back to my radar. If you never got it on your cell phone, download my radar. It's free. About every time you open it, it says, "Hey, do you want to buy a subscription or whatever?" Somewhere on there, it's going to say, "No, I don't. Just continue," and it will let you continue on. But like I said, they move that thing all the time. But under the phone and on the computer here, on the computer, it's not on the web. It's actually just a application. If you're using Windows, you just download it from the store. But you can turn on layers here. Here's the hurricane. We can see here. It's a storm, tropical storm. Today is 8/7. So around 8/8 it's going to be coming here, and 8. So in the morning, about 6 o'clock, it's going to make landfall again somewhere between Charleston and Georgetown. And then if you click it like I just did, you're going to see the flood watch, a hurricane local statement, and then a tropical storm warning. But each area has its own. There it is, tornado watch for North Myrtle Beach. And to tell you the truth, there is so many warnings. Like, you got your greens, you got different color oranges, you got red. There is so many different warning zones going on right here. It is almost hard to really see what's going on. But North Myrtle Beach, definitely tornado watches. That's like I said earlier. I knew this area was going to be a lot of tornado. A small chance. I'm not going to say there's going to be a tornado, but there's definitely a chance of a tornado. So between 6 a.m. when it comes back onto land till 1800, which would be 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So 6 o'clock in the morning it's coming on land, and by 6 p.m. it's supposed to be in Florence. So we're going to get a whole day of tomorrow of nothing but rain. So, and you always got to watch the backside of the storm. So these storms down here in Florida right now, going into Jacksonville, definitely some strong storms. So Georgia, you're definitely not out of them storms by any means. Athens, right there. Look at pretty bad storm fixing to come through Athens, Georgia. With my radar, also, you have power outages on there. So McDuffie County outage affected 555 counties. Georgia Power 322, Jefferson Electric 636, and then let's see around. Like I said, it's hard to click on some of these warnings because there's so many stuff going on. Calhoun County 413 outages, Aiken 14, Dominion, which is out of Columbia's lower part, it's showing 1,200, almost 1,300. That's the numbers I was anticipating. Bishopville, Lee County. Let's see what Lee County's got. 125. If you're on Black River in South Carolina and you don't have power, you're the only one because it's only showing one. Duke Energy in that section, 1,983 and 705 in PD Electric Co-op. Let's see Dillon over here. Dillon County outage, 482, and it gives the same number, and then PD's the same number. So there's a good many power outages going on. I know I showed y'all that site earlier. Let's go up here in the North Carolina. 1,304 out. There's another one that, like I said, this is a really great app. I don't know when high tide is going to be for Wilmington, but that definitely is going to change. Right there, tornado warning. Like I said, I pulled up North Myrtle Beach, and it was a watch for Elizabethtown. That's probably somewhere that's in between Elizabethtown and Washington. Right now, there's a red spot coming up. You can see it right there. And I'm not a weather expert by any means, but you're under a tornado warning. That's what I was saying. Watches, your mama was telling you, hey, watch, I'm watching you. And that right there is screaming, I'm warning you. So if you in North Carolina and you anywhere near that part of North Carolina, you're under a tornado warning. Flash flood. I think you can click it also. If you click that and then it says tornado warning, bulletin, southeastern Baldwin County of North Carolina at 8:45, a severe thunderstorm moving northwest at 25 miles per hour, hazard, tornado, and it's saying source radar indicated rotation. So that doesn't mean it's on the ground. That means you need to be in your safe spot. And again, it is almost 9 o'clock? Almost 9 o'clock. So I know it's dark outside. Don't get caught not being prepared for this storm. We are not out of it. These rat bands is going to intensify, especially the more. And I'm sorry, y'all. I know it's Deborah on the coast there, but I don't know if y'all got social media, but every time I see a picture, somebody's got the little Debbie out there. I cannot think of his name. The Did you know guy? He's got the big Deborah. There is so many. Every time I see it, all I can think of is Big Deborah out there swirling around in the ocean. But while it's out here in this hot water, it's only refueling. So, like I said, y'all's commute into Georgetown tomorrow, Myrtle Beach, you might want to leave a little early. But I think what I've been watching and paying attention to, your chances of tornadoes tomorrow and tonight is definitely Wilmington and up, possibly some towards the Outer Banks. So y'all definitely stay safe. Let's see where this power outage is. Like I said, you can download this app for free on your phone. Stay up to date with power outages. Check on your friends, your neighbors, your families. It don't take much to send a text, and if you don't get a text back, you need to pick up the phone and call and check on people. That's what I feel like we're lacking more of in this day of technology, and especially post COVID. People just don't check on people anymore. But it's definitely tornado warning. Let's see when does it expire? All right, so a few minutes ago it was a different time. They just extended that to 9:15. So 18 minutes remaining on that warning. I highly believe that probably will continue on. But remember, that's a radar indicated rotation on that one. If we're on for another 18 minutes, I will give an update on that. But that is definitely Elizabethtown, Washington area. That is some flat farmland out there for sure. That is some really good duck hunting out there too. So if you never get up to this part of North Carolina, great hunting, just amazing hunting. I highly recommend hunting the Outer Banks at least once, maybe 3 times. But also, talking about hunting, today I booked a hunting trip to Texas for next spring turkey season. So I am going to Stanfield Lodge, where the Big Honker podcast is recorded. Jeff and Andy out there, they're hunting lodge. I'm going out there to turkey hunt with Andy. Andy is the guide. Andy is the only guy that I guide, not guy. He's the only guide that I know that they have. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, but I think he is the guy for turkey hunting. So I hope to go out there in the springtime and check off a Rio turkey. I am really wanting to do the slam, the turkey slam. I'm going to leave that up just for a few minutes, but I'm just going to let it go in the background. I'm going to keep an eye on that tornado warning. But let me pull up. If you never heard of it, you have a couple of turkey slams. I gotta change where I'm sharing my screen here. Let me pull this up. There we go. All right, so you got a couple of turkey slams. They got duck ones too, and if I don't forget, I'll bring it up too. So a turkey slam is you're harvesting one of each of the subspecies of the wild turkey in the North American USA. So obviously I already got the Eastern, and I'm going for the Rio. So in the United States, there's 4. And then you go down here into Mexico and you can get the other 2, which would be a North American slam. I'm just going for right now, United States slam. And then they got a grand slam. That is not the grand slam of ice cream. So you got the turkey grand slam. Let's see what that one is. Now, talking about species of turkeys, they say the one in Florida is just technically Eastern with longer legs, so he can run around in the marsh. But they all got different colors. There's a ton of stickers out there. There's the there's the 4 for the United States, the one in Florida, the Eastern. This is more like where Key from Salt Creek is, and then the Rio. They say they gobble different too. I don't know that. Can't say they do. Can't say they don't because I ain't never hunted for anything. But my plans are, I already put the deposit down to go and hunt that. But this is one of the prettiest turkeys, and this one's out of Mexico. I mean, could you imagine that? I mean, that is a beautiful bird. See if I can make it bigger. Um, I'm gonna copy that so I can, because if not, that's a video. That's a video, and I don't want that playing in the background. All right, look at that bird. Look at that turkey. Could you imagine that joker running around? That looks like a peacock. I mean, that is a beautiful turkey. I mean, the colors on that, I mean, amazing. I couldn't imagine what that cost to mount though, because you know there's probably not many taxidermists around here that mount or has ever mounted one. But I mean, the colors on it is just amazing. One day, one day, maybe one day we all can ride together to Mexico to hunt one of them turkeys. But like I said, that's what my plans are in the spring. Go scratch the Rio off. Um, has anybody ever hunted a Rio turkey? I know I heard that they gobble completely different. Um, it's gonna be interesting. Very interesting. So here's another map of how the species of turkeys fall. Open image, new tab. There we go. So the eastern is a lot of the turkeys that we see. Um, like I said, down there towards Florida, I always heard that they pretty much are eastern, but with longer legs to adapt to the marsh. Some people debate, have the debates discussion of is really just the eastern with longer legs. Some say they're not a subspecies. I'm not getting into that arguing, but I definitely will be going about middle of Texas to find me a Rio. Um, maybe next year, let's just say 2 years, I can go hunt with Salt Creek, give me some of that TSS that he has, and take out one of them turkeys that he gets into. But that's about all I got for this week. Y'all stay safe. Like I said, that storm, don't be playing around with that. That warning is still the same. I would believe that they are going to extend that one. It still has 10 minutes left on that one. So it was updated at 9:15 until 9:15. So yeah, another 10 minutes. I really. So do I stay on for another 10 minutes and we watch it together to see if it moves, or do we cut it short today? It's just 10 minutes. We can talk about something. Um let's back out and see if there's any power outages updates. But this storm is going to track all the way up into Washington, New York, and on up. It is, once it gets to Greensboro, North Carolina on the 9th at 6 a.m., it's going to be a tropical depression. Right now, it's a storm. I wish at one time they used to have in this app where you could click on it and it would tell you the difference between storm and depression and stuff like that. It would tell you the winds. But I think they took that out. Or I don't have a layer on, one of the two. Like I said, there's so many features that this radar can do. Um, you got winds. It could tell you winds. Let's look at the winds. Zoom in, especially. There's another app that I use when I'm out on a boat. It tells you wind speeds. Also, you got your lightning layers. You got fronts, outlooks, wildfires, and then there's a couple more if you pay for features. If you actually pay for the app. Let's see. Outlooks really didn't turn nothing on. With these, I know on the computer here, like I was showing you earlier, it was really hard to see what county had what warning going on. Look at that. Just updated the radar. This red blob just got back. It was here. You'll see it. It disappears, and then it comes back. I guarantee you that's going to be extended. But when you go to the layers here, you can come over here to the little gearbox, and you can turn how dark. Did you see that? You could turn on the warnings. You could turn the warnings down a little bit and turn the watches up, but you can change how that looks. Flood and coastal, you can turn that on and off. Air dust, which I don't think air and dust and smoke is going to be anything today, but each one has its own settings, so you can turn that on and off. Like I said, that just updated, so 7 minutes remaining. What do y'all think? I'm betting it's going to continue. I imagine it's going to be getting a little bit closer. I believe it will go over Lumberton, North Carolina. Just the way it's going, but right behind it is another one. I wish some of these counties over here had power outages reported. I'm sure the way this radar program works, it probably takes a bunch of background data, and if it's not available, that's probably why it don't have it. But if we watch, the radar stops at 8:55, so that was 10 minutes ago. It was updated, and you can see that blob right there. So the next time that thing updates, it could be out of the picture by now, especially if it was moving at 25 miles per hour. Let's see. Yeah. At 8:47 when it updated at 25 miles per hour. Definitely a lot of rain. Wow, that jumped. While we were watching this storm roll in, you saw this blue pop up. 705 in Robeson County. That'd be North Carolina. 705, Burnswick 34. The radar just updated, but the warning still hasn't updated yet. So at the top is 9 o'clock. 700 power outages and 1,700, right at almost 1,800 in Duke Energy. So That was just right here, popped in right when we were watching it live. So Dillon, South Carolina, 480. All right, so that warning went away. So that tornado warning definitely disappeared. So is it is no longer a warning, but that doesn't mean it ain't gonna pop up somewhere else. So we did stay and watch it. Um, you can see right here at, wait for it, 9:05. That red really picks back up. Um, Even though they don't have any warnings and watches out for that, y'all definitely just stay safe. That's the main concern. There might not be too many of y'all watching, but I want every one of you to survive and to come back next Wednesday, because we have next Wednesday. I'm definitely gonna have to confirm it, but next Wednesday is supposed to be Tyler from Duck Creek Decoys, a awesome decoy, a motion decoy. He's supposed to be in on the studio, and then hopefully on the 21st, Jay from Blind Grass out of Louisiana. He's going to be on. Their till season is going to be picking up real soon down there in Louisiana. So, be interesting to talk to him. But like I said, tonight, if you're in North Carolina, I would probably say anywhere between Charleston all the way up to the Outer Banks, anywhere in that North Carolina, definitely leave your cell phone notifications turned on for sure. Uh, because I'd be willing to bet this storm's going to really rock and roll in the morning time. So, like I said, it's going to be right in commute time. So if you around Myrtle Beach, Georgetown, it's going to make landfall about 6 o'clock, maybe a little bit earlier. So that's really going to slow your commute time now. So y'all be safe down there. Hopefully it's not tearing up the marshes. That is not what we need in our lower state for waterfowl season. But it's how it goes. That's how it goes. So y'all stay safe, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Remember, I'm gonna have Tyler on from Duck Creek. It's gonna be probably a really good informational. Learn what's going on. I know he's got some new products. I know on this new decoy, motion decoy, it's got an upgraded battery. So if you ever had one or used one, this new battery is greatly improved. So can't wait to talk to him. But like I always say at the end, here's a word from my sponsor, Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Also, go check out Salt Creek Ammo. This triple curl TSS is some of the best TSS I have ever shot. This is for waterfowl edition. It's made for waterfowl. So if you're going to shoot a species that you've been chasing for a long time, don't use no cheap ammo. You pay good money to go on a trip. You got great guns. Don't cheap out on cheap ammunition. This TSS is amazing. It's got number 7s, number 8s, and he has number 9s. So go check out saltcreekammo.com. Here you will find any kind of ammo you're looking for. He has custom loads. TSS in 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge, low pressure ammunition. You got predator ammunition, turkey ammunition, anything you're looking for, give Keith a call. Also to the channel, Kicks Industries, most people will know them as Kick Chokes, has came on board, and I have done a bunch of series lately on waterfowl choke tubes, turkey choke tubes, deer choke tubes. So go check out Kick's website for all of the chokes that can fit your guns. Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service LLC prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service LLC. All right, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see y'all next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Remember, turn them notifications up. Have a flashlight by your bed. Stay safe in this storm because it is definitely not over. And all my first responders, y'all stay safe. I'll see y'all.